Hello everyone, my name is Ruchir and welcome to this episode of Tea Time Tech. So in today's episode we're going to be talking about the catchy words manufacturers use in order to name their product. Now, naming a product goes a long way into making or breaking a product, a brand or even an entire service. Manufacturers tend to name their products into catchy terms so as to take advantage of the word of mouth promotions and stay relevant even in today's time and to the technologically challenged people. Now, while there are some manufacturers who tend to justify the technology behind their product, the market is flooded with companies who tend to glorify and over exaggerate their names in order to sell a product. Here are 5 times when manufacturers went overboard and turned their products into gimmicks. Beginning the list with number one gimmick is laser autofocus cameras. Now, a lot of smartphone manufacturers are guilty of adding marketing prowess to their phones when the actual hardware is absent. The prime example of this is laser autofocus on smartphone cameras. A lot of smartphone brands, including Samsung, LG, and HTC, are guilty of adding the term laser to their smartphones' cameras' autofocus credentials, even when it is simply an infrared and software based autofocus system. Coming at number two on the list is branded laptop speakers. Have you ever noticed how big manufacturers like HP and Lenovo slap the stickers of fancy brands like Bang& Olufsen, Altec Lansing, and even JBL on their laptop speakers? Well, yes, that is a marketing gimmick as well. All laptop speakers, regardless of the brand, work on the same power range of 2 watts to 5 watts. And while they do promise a 3D audio experience and surround sound via earphones, it simply defeats the purpose of having a branded sticker on your laptop speaker. Coming at number 3 on this list is high megapixel count and depth sensor. A lot of smartphone manufacturers have slapped high megapixel count cameras on their phones. The latest Samsung smartphone comes with a 108 megapixel camera, and the usual norms these days sits around 48 megapixel and 64 megapixels. A lot of manufacturers are guilty of this, including high-end manufacturers like Samsung and even to upper mid-range devices such as Realme and OnePlus. Now, the gimmick part here is that while a lot of smartphone cameras capture high-res images of up to 108 megapixels, they do not do so in their default settings. Moreover, you need a high-quality screen such as a Quad HD screen in order to view these images in their whole glory. Now, coming to the second part of this equation is depth sensors on smartphone cameras. Now, many manufacturers include a depth sensor with their primary camera of the smartphone in order to provide users with the portrait effect of a DSLR. Coming to the part of depth sensors, these are pretty irrelevant in today's times because the primary usage of a depth sensor, according to smartphone manufacturers, are to provide portrait effect on photos taken by the main camera. These are pretty irrelevant in today's times because the best smartphone camera on the market on the Pixel phone actually takes portrait photos with the help of only single sensor. Coming at number 4 on this list is gesture controls. This technology debuted on the LG G8 and the new Pixel 4 and it failed so horribly. The idea behind this tech was to implement the action of scrolling and swiping on the phone without physically touching the device. This mainly used infrared sensors and radio tech in order to register inputs without physically touching the device, and it failed so dramatically. It was panned by critics throughout the world and it quickly turned into a gimmick rather than becoming an actual useful feature on the phone. Coming at number 5 on the list are curved smartphone displays. This technology was debuted on the Huawei and Samsung flagships and were designed like a waterfall around the smartphone screen. The idea behind this technology was to provide more screen estate to the smartphone and it only suffered from poor visibility and accidental touches, thereby preventing it from becoming a useful feature and thus in the process becoming another gimmick on the smartphone. And that wraps up the top 5 catchy things manufacturers use in order to promote their product. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And as always, like this video and share it if you found it helpful. I will see you in the next video. Until next time, peace.